Hello there, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's your girl, Mine. It's been a while. I wasn't feeling well these past couple of weeks, so these past 2 weeks. I missed you guys a lot. I hope everything is going well. And if you're listening, don't be shy. Give me a call at 718-951-4444. Today's topic is definitely something I think a lot of people will find very interesting. So today's topic is when God says wait, you better wait. Yes. So, and the subtopic to that is disobedience prolongs the process. So we're going to get into a William McDowell song right now because we're having a little bit of technical difficulties, and then we're going to come right back. Yeah, so let's get into some business right now. Today in history, in 1868, on February 24th, Andrew Johnson became the first U.S. president to be impeached by the House. And in 1980, the U.S. men's Olympic hockey team completes the miracle on ice by defeating Finland to win the gold medal. And in 2008, Fidel Castro retires as the president of Cuba after nearly 50 years. Oh, wow, that was in 2008? Wow. Seems like so long ago. The years just keep flying by quickly. It's crazy. So let's get into today. We just handle some business, you know. You got to do all that stuff. Today's topic is, I'm talking about when God says wait, you better wait. And the subtopic to that is disobedience prolongs the process. We'll be playing a couple of songs from today, but we're going to have a featured artist. Our newly featured artist for today will be Lexi Sugar. I like to say Sugar, but I think he likes Sugar. AKA, I call him the producer of life. Nigerians love to say everything and add like of life at the end of it. It's kind of like an explanation point or whatever. He's from Nigeria. I met him here in New York oh my gosh, like 5 years ago. Oh my goodness, I'm getting old. Crazy. So I met him here in New York like 5 years ago. I was working with a group of other very, very talented people. And we were all like in a band together. He was the extraordinary bassist, and that's kind of how I met him. He is now based out of MD. He's a producer, songwriter, plays the bass, and plays a whole bunch of other instruments. He's from Nigeria. I wanted to say where he was from, but I don't know how to pronounce it. And I know there's some, what I like to call them, Nigerian grammar police listening. Like, they like to rate how Nigerian you are. You know, like, is she really Nigerian? So I don't feel like getting rated today, so I'm not even going to embarrass myself. But he's from an area around the Cross Rivers of Nigeria. I love the Cross Rivers area of Nigeria. It's so gorgeous, like so beautiful. That's where he's from. I don't want to tie him down to a certain sound. You guys just really need to check him out. Check him out on Instagram. Check him out on SoundCloud, Lexi Sugar. But his sound is very diverse. But one of my favorite styles of music that he does is he creates very soulful sounds, which kind of makes sense because he's from the Cross Rivers, very natural nature. The Cross River State is a coastal state in Nigeria, and it's bordering Cameroon to the east. If I'm wrong, let me know, but I think I'm right. So yes, we'll be playing some of his songs. I was only going to play one song from him, but then I love all of the other stuff that he's produced, especially gospel stuff. So we're going to play some of that as well. He has a new single out, which came out about 2 weeks ago on Valentine's Day. And it's called All My Love. It's a really, really great song. And it's wedding season, guys. So you guys definitely want to get on that song. But All right, let's get into it. Today's topic is, again, when God says wait, you better wait. Disobedience prolongs the process. If some of you are just tuning in, or you just walking by the radio station, or you're in the radio station and you don't know, my show is a Christian show. And though I do talk about a variety of topics, I love the Lord. So that's what I'm going to be talking about. So if you're just tuning in, the show is called The Hour with Mine Edo. And for an hour, we just talk about multiple topics, related to Christianity and just loving the Lord. So the reason I decided to you guys heard that long sigh. That is basically what my life has been for these past couple of months. It's been crazy trusting the Lord and following him, but I know that at the end of it, it's definitely going to pay off. Well, before I really get into the topic, I'm going to talk about myself. So God gave me specific instructions as far as like my dating life. And he told me not to date. He was like, right now, I don't need you to date. I need you to seek me, learn about me, learn my word, because I have so many things that I want you to do. So I need you to really understand why I'm calling you to do this. And so God just told me to relax, and he gave me peace. He actually gave me peace in that. Like, I have never been so happy, like not being in a relationship and not having to deal with a guy, like not having any guy drama. I've been very, very selfish these past couple of months, and selfish as in just taking time out for myself. And, that's, in my opinion, when you're in your 20s or, whenever, this is the time you really get to learn about yourself. And how can you ever know who you really are? I think I've said this before on previous shows. How can you ever know who you really are if you are always with somebody? You leave one person, you go to the next person, you go to the next person. I think sometimes we do that because we're lonely. And loneliness is actually God calling you back to him. We were created with this like void in our hearts. I remember Billy Graham was telling a story about a young lady. She's like 16 or whatever. She went crazy, and her parents took her to, I'm going off right now, but this is very important, I promise. Her parents took her to a psychologist, and, he's questioning her. He's like, what's going on? Why are you just, acting crazy and just acting wild? She's like, there's something missing. There's something, I don't know what it is. I have loving parents. I have friends. I'm doing good in school, but there's something missing. I just don't know what it is. And ladies and gentlemen, what's missing in your life is the Lord. What's missing in your life is Jesus Christ. He's the only one that could fill that void in your heart. Like, nobody else can do that. No man, no woman, nothing. That's why people get married 5, 6, 7 times, go from one job to another job to another job, do drugs, drink excessively, because they're just trying to numb down the thoughts and the feelings of loneliness and discontentment and that hole that can only be filled by Jesus Christ. So basically, the whole point of me saying that goes right back to what I was saying before about the instructions that the Lord gave me. He gave me instructions to not date. So I was like, all right, Lord, I'm going to trust you. I'm not going to date, So I kind of hid myself out. If you're in my like inner circle, you already know this. I went through a period where I just wasn't talking to nobody. I didn't want nobody calling me. I didn't want anyone texting me. I changed my number. Like, I wanted to be left alone, and I was following instruction. And when you're following instruction by the Lord, you don't need to give anybody you don't have any apologies to give to anybody, because you're doing what the Lord told you to do. So I stayed in hiding or consecration, and I was like really spending time with the Lord, and I was good. He gave me permission to come back. So I came back, and then it started. So, I don't put myself in the same environments that I did before, like parties and, other places that I really shouldn't be at. But, dudes will come. I call these dudes popcorn dudes. Like, they just pop, 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 pop all over the place. Like, they come out of nowhere. You don't even know where they came from. So, I got a little distracted. Yeah. I got a little distracted. I was talking to one particular individual, and he was Christian. So I was like, Lord, I'm just talking to him, we're just going to be friends, maybe he's the one, maybe he's not. But, I'm just talking to him because he's a nice guy, and I hear that small, still voice, which is what the Bible describes the Lord's voice as, a small, still voice. God doesn't yell or scream at you when he is giving you instruction. He doesn't have to, because he's God. Like, he, I don't even want to say he's the man. That is, for a better lack of words, he is God. He doesn't need to yell at me and beg me and tug me and pull me, to not do certain things. He will talk to me in a small, still voice. So he told me, he's like, Mine, don't talk to him. But I'm like, God, he's nice, he's cool, He's like, Mine, don't talk to him. It is not yet time. It's not the time. And I remember him saying, be still and know that I am God. And I'm like, be still and know that I am God. I was like, okay. But I didn't really understand what he meant by that until later on, meaning relax. Like, I got you. You will, get married. You will find that person. You will do, you will not be lonely. And I am with you. So I later on began to understand what he was actually talking about. And I think a lot of the times, part of the reason why we don't wait on God is because we just feel like, what if it never happens? What if I never get married? I'm reading a book by Dr. Charles Stanley, and it's called Waiting on God. Yes, if I'm wrong, correct me. But I think it's on my Instagram, Mine Edo. You guys could go on there and check it out. But he says in the book that part of the reason why we kind of go out and do our own thing is because we feel like it's probably never going to happen, So basically, back to my story of dating. So I start talking to him. We start being friends. All of a sudden, we're out on dates, and in the back of my mind, God is like, why are you here? I'm like, but, we're not really doing anything. We're just, out on it. You know how we try to rationalize with God when he's giving us instruction. So I'm like, we're not really doing anything, Lord. Like, we're out on a date. It's just a date. Like, I can't eat, I can't eat. Like, what's up? And God is just like, okay, the Lord is only going to tell you something, but only how many times, if you choose to listen or choose not to listen, that's your choice. He gives free will. So it was a very short, I think we went out on like 3-4 days, but I noticed my character starting to change from, starting to talk to him. Then I started talking to other people, and then, just started talking to other people. And I'm like, whoa, what's going on here? And talking to him when the time wasn't right opened up the door for me to start talking to other people. Thank God I was already, not to, big myself up like I'm this like holier than art person, but like, thank God I already know enough when I hear the Lord's voice to know to be able to stop myself. A lot of people don't know how to stop themselves, and they end up back to the same vomit that they threw up from before. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of just opened up doors for me to start talking to the wrong guys. And I'm like, no, I can't do this right now. Back to the subtopic, which says disobedience prolongs the process. This singlehood that I'm in is a process. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with being single, especially when God is trying to prepare you for the next step in your life. And he cannot prepare you for that next step if you're always around somebody. Like, relationships take a lot of time, and they take a lot of energy and effort. And they will take your eyes off of the Lord if the relationship was not ordained by the Lord. You know what I'm saying? And it brings me to Psalms 37:4, where it says, take delight in the Lord and he will give you the desires of your heart. Now, a lot of people take that verse and they switch it around. Oh, Lord, you said you would give me the desires of my heart. I want this car. I want this man, even though he's married to somebody else. You know what I'm saying? And what this really means, take delight in the Lord and he will give you the desires of your heart, is take delight in the Lord means seek God. Take delight in him. Love him. How do we love God? That's a whole nother show, but how do we love God? We love God by we talk to him every day. We read his word. We read his word so that we know what he sounds like when he's talking to us. A lot of people, you can't really, and by a lot of people, I mean myself. In the beginning, I didn't know whose voice I was hearing. I'm like, should I do this? Should I not do this? Oh, I'm going to follow my women's intuition. No. You know, when I really start to read God's word, I'm like, oh, this is not God. I'm not doing that. Oh, yes, this is God. I got to do this. You know what I'm saying? So take delight in the Lord. And when you start to seek God with your whole heart, when you start to seek God's face and not his hand, a lot of people go to God because they want him to give them something. You know what I'm saying? Oh, God, give me this, give me that. But when you start to seek his face, like you really want to know who he is, like as a person, you will start to change. Like he will start to change your heart towards his. And all of a sudden, before you know it, you're not thinking like you used to think. You're not talking like you used to talk. Everything, all of your desires now are shifting to sort of carnal things onto things of the Lord. And I'm saying this out of experience. I'm saying this for myself because I remember I was just in such a place where, and I don't really have like a crazy testimony. A lot of people have like, maybe I don't think I do. I've never really shared mine, but like, I don't think I've really ever gone through anything like super, super crazy, but I knew that the Lord was calling me. You know what I'm saying? But I was just living such a lifestyle that's completely opposite from him that I didn't know what to do. So, you know, he gave, you know, and I kept asking him, I'm like, God, I really want to come to you, but I like partying though, you know, but God, I really want to come to you, but I don't know how to end this relationship, you know, and he basically told me, he said, you know, he said, pray to me to change the desires of your heart. Isn't that crazy? God will tell you what to pray to answer your own prayers. So, so God told me to pray to him, and I prayed to him. Like I diligently was like, I just was so sincere and so humble, and I wasn't trying to be formal, and I wasn't trying to be holier than thou. I was just, I literally, you know, I'll talk about this another time. I was literally in the club and I was drunk. I was so drunk. And I was just like, and I heard the voice of the Lord saying, why are you here? He always used to say that to me, you know, and when I was in a place that I didn't need to be. So I just said, God, I really don't want to do this anymore, but you got to help me. Like, I don't know what to do. I'm saying this like in being drunk. I'm talking to the Lord. And I don't know what to say to y'all, but like, or how to put it in words. Some things you can't even put in words, but he literally began to change my heart and the desires of my heart to where I didn't want to go out to the club anymore. I didn't want to party. I didn't want to wear certain things. I didn't want to talk a certain way. I didn't want to hate this person. You know, I didn't want to not like this person. He just started to change me. I mean, he's still changing me. I'm still fresh. He's still changing me. Like, I'm not perfect, but like, it was just crazy. Like things that I used to think that I loved to do, I didn't want to do them anymore. You know, which brings me back to saying to Psalms 37:4, take delight in the Lord and he will give you the desires of your heart. So when you're waiting on God to do something for your life and you're taking delight in him, he will give you the desires of your heart. Guess what? Guess why? Because guess why? It's because the desires of your heart are now the desires of his heart. So the both of you are working towards the same goal, as opposed to you coming to God and praying to him to bless something that he never wanted you to do in the first place. You know what I'm saying? My favorite verse that I've been living by, I'm going fast because I don't have that much time. My favorite verse that I've been living by since I rededicated my life to the Lord is Matthew 6:33, which is, seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all these things shall be added on to you. I remember one night, you know, it was like before I really submitted my life to Christ, it was like a whole, like 3-4 weeks of just like, oh my gosh, you really get tired of sinning. It's sinning. It takes a lot of energy and it takes a lot of time. So I remember I was on my couch one night and I was just like, God, like, what is going on? I didn't understand what was going on. It was a whole process, which I'll talk about on another show. But, a lot of stuff was happening inside of me and I didn't understand. I'm like, God, what's going on? I'm like, I don't even know what to do right now. So I'm like laying on the couch and I'm just like ultra depressed and I'm about to fall asleep. And I remember my younger sisters were watching something on television. So they left the television on and they went off to bed. But as I'm asking God, what, what's going on? What do I do? How do I get the answers to my question? I hear someone on TV read this verse, which is Matthew 6:33, seek ye first the kingdom of God and all these things shall be added on to you. Now, that's not a coincidence to me because just a couple of days earlier, one of my younger sisters came up to me with that same verse, and then just a few days before that, I'm reading my Bible and it just turned to that verse. So I was like, okay, God, this is confirmation. You're trying to tell me something. So what Matthew 6:33 is saying, seek ye first the kingdom of God and all these things shall be added on to you, is seek God first. Seek God first. While